Shalom Yasharala Yabrakakam Yahweh Sham Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. It's your brother Karatazaya Ban Yasharala. And I've been up this morning just spending time in the scripture, just going through different things. Excuse me, please. Just enjoying study. So I wanted to invite anyone that was interested or willing to study with me to study. Maybe you have something to say. Maybe you want to bring something out. Maybe you want to just spend some time. Excuse me if I seem a little bit distracted. It's just I'm looking at other pages that have scriptures and stuff on them. Here, I can show you what I'm looking at. Hey, Aliyah Shabai, Shalom, Yahweh Shema Latah. I pray all is well. All right, I'm gonna start the screen share. Starting to clean up. Hey, Shalom, 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 my brother. Yahweh Bashem Yasha Brakatah. All right. This is an open platform. This is not like a conventional class to where it would be just going over, and I'll just be talking. Actually, I wanted to leave the floor open. I wanted to go through yesterday's Torah portion, and if anybody had anything that they wanted to bring out or anything that they wanted to talk about, this would be a good time to. I'm starting to close up pages from yesterday. 1 Kings chapter 5 and 1 Kings chapter 6. We're definitely going to be looking at 1 Kings chapter 5 and 1 Kings chapter 6, which was on the building of King Solomon's temple. Okay. All right. The building of King Solomon's temple, starting at 1 Kings chapter 5. And as y'all know, we have the Blue Letter Bible opened up, one of my favorite study tools, because you can just so easily just click on this tools. You can go to interlinear, and from interlinear, you can look up what the words are in Hebrew. Say if you want to see who Hiram is, which this is a very interesting character right here, Hiram. There's actually, from what we've seen, there are two Hiram's descriptions in the Bible. One of them was an Israelite Hiram, and one of them was Hiram, the king of Tyre. So say, for example, if you want to look up and see, well, which verse is this talking about? Which Hiram is this talking about? You can just go to this interlinear. You can click on the button, or you can hit the word tools, and it'll open up. See, it'll open up the interlinear for you, these different tabs, and you can switch through them and just get more description on the scriptures. All right. So, Wayashalach Hayaram. See, Hayaram. You see how it has a little question mark on it on my mouse. See, a little question mark appears on the mouse. See, it's because you can click on it and it'll open up the definition of what the word is. See. So Hayaram. See, so it'll give you definition. I really like this. I like using this app. All right. This website. All right. The app actually sucks. I don't like the Blue Letter Bible app, but the website is pretty cool. So I just wanted to go over what we went over yesterday for the Torah portion. King Solomon's building of the Temple of the Most High was on a much grander scale than Masha's building of the Tabernacle of the Most High. I pulled up a few windows. Let me see if I can find this out. Here we go, right here. All right. So this is a really cool video that you can go to. All right. It's a 3D model of King Solomon's temple, which was just absolutely amazing, man. King Solomon's temple was nuts. All right. Please excuse if you see some foolery in the background. Like, these actually look like what do you call them? sphinxes, some stuff is just off, it's like, yeah, but it's like the artists, they do the best of what they have with the descriptions that they have. We're definitely in a different time frame to where we don't understand as much as we used to, especially when everything was right in front of us. All right. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I have my scriptures open. I started out this morning going over wisdom. All right. Going over wisdom. Today is the so-called 21st day of the Gentile month. So-called 21st day of the Gentile month. So what I started with Psalms, Proverbs, the Odes of Solomon. All right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 21. So just going over wisdom. And Shalom, Thawada for building. You said, I remember you mentioned God's name. Can you remind me again, please? Okay, sure. Well, for what we've been given, yeah, and I'm going to spell this out. All right. Now, please give me a little bit of detail. Talk to me a little bit more so I can, the more detail you give me, the more detail I can give you back. Okay. So this is the pronunciation that we most commonly use. Okay. We most commonly use this pronunciation, Yahweh, Yahweh. All right. Sometimes you might see it in some books spelled with these 4 characters, Yahweh, just 4 letters, making this pronunciation of consonants. All right. Of Yahweh. All right. But I also, throughout the facts and the question, I also want you to speak more on it. All right. Let me see. Let me get this real quick. So as I put that up there, I don't want you to be like, oh, okay. I want you to say a little more. Okay. Okay. All right. Talk to me and I'll talk back to you. All right. Okay. So you might see the name in the scriptures. You'll see it pops up. It says Jehovah. Okay. All right. Okay. So you see the name pop up in the scriptures and it'll say Jehovah. All right. Which is, Charles Taze Russell was the man who began the organization called the Jehovah's Witnesses. All right. Very funny and beautiful thing about that is that the children of Israel are actually Jehovah's Witnesses. We're actually Yahweh's witnesses. Okay. So why do we say the name Yahweh instead of Jehovah? Okay. We use the pronunciation of Yahweh instead of the name Jehovah because there's an issue with the name Jehovah. And the reason being is because there are certain characters that are in the name Jehovah that don't exist in Hebrew today, nor did they exist back in that time frame. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a screen and I'm going to pull up a scripture that actually has Jehovah in it. And I'm not, implying that you mentioned anything about Jehovah. I'm just saying, why do we say Yahweh instead of Jehovah? Okay. So comment more, Baba Koshai. Oh, I haven't said enough. No, don't thank me yet. I haven't said enough. Okay. All right. So I want you to actually comment back to me. And then that way I'll be able to comment back to you. All right. So no sweat. I'm going to come right back to that. Baba Kwar. All right. Ahavia, Yahweh Shemarlata, greatly appreciated. All right. And again, there's no need to say sorry. Okay. All right. So no need to say sorry. I definitely will continue, but I want you to comment back to me because I want to make sure I answer your question with as much validity as possible. All right. There are different names. There's a difference between Yeshua. Is there a difference between Yeshua and Yahweh Shai? Okay. The water for action. Hold that question. I'm going to come right back to you. I just want to finish this one real quick. All right. So And yes, there is. And the difference is just the ooh. And the reason being is because we're looking at the Paleo-Hebrew pronunciation. And when you're looking at the Paleo-Hebrew pronunciation, you know, that's why it's important to know the alphabet. So you can say which one of these characters make this sound. So I want to ask you, my brother, my beloved brother, and anytime you ask me a question, I'm not hostile in answering back. I get hostile when I'm answering against sin or something like that. But when I'm talking to my brother, my sister, straight peace and love. So Torrance Golden, real quick, a question for you. Yes or no? Do you know the Hebrew alphabet? All right. All right. So let's get back to this real quick. So when we're looking at the name Jehovah, all right, let's look at this scripture, okay? So this scripture is Exodus chapter 63. And in English it says, and I hope you can see this, in English it says, and I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of Adon Alashadiah, but by my name Jehovah was I not known to them. See, so this is where the people get the word Jehovah from in the Bible. All right, so let's look at this real quick. All right, so we say Yahweh, 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 and we say Yahweh for a reason. All right, and I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by, and this says Allah. See, this says Ba'Allah. This is the Hebrew characters. There's three, and we're going to do a little Hebrew here today. Okay, let me enlarge the screen so you can see it. This is the character Ah. This is the character La. Now, I know down here in English, it says L. It says L, but that's not an E character. That's an Ah character. This is a La character. All right, up here, this is Ba, and then this is Allah. So this means in power, Ba'al. Ba'Allah, not Baal, Ba'Allah. All right, and this is Allah. Okay, so it says Shadia, Allah Shadia, which means Almighty or the power Almighty. And then it says Sham, all right, Sham, all right, Washamya, and name Washamya. Now in English, over here it says Jehova, Jehovah. But in Hebrew, it says something different. Look. See, over in Hebrew, it has a Y sound. So the letter J was lately invented in English. Okay, this is a new, recently invented. This is a new character. So J is not in Hebrew, and that's one of the issues that we have. Another issue that we have is the ooh, the like Yeshua, Yahuwah, Yahuwah, Yeshua. You can say those names. They're very much better to say. They're much closer to say than it is to say Jehovah or Jesus. But the issue is that the ooh character, that letter doesn't exist in Hebrew. It doesn't exist in Paleo-Hebrew. So when we say Jehovah, we take away certain characters. Like we don't say the J, we don't say the V, because they're just not here. This character is Yah. This character is Ha. That character is Wa, and that character is Ha. So I'll write them out for you also. So this is the sound Ya, Ha, Wa, Ha, Ya, Ha, Wa, Ha, Ya, Ha, Wa, Ha, Ya, Ha, Wa, Ya, Ha, Wa, Ha. See? So it's 4 characters that make specific sounds. Also, there are no characters in Hebrew that don't make a sound. There's no such thing as a silent J or a silent V or a silent U or a silent Wah. There's no silent in Paleo-Hebrew. Every character is meant to be pronounced. So we follow the ancient Hebrew grammar rules, and there's more rules to learn. Okay, so look at this real quick. Now, transliteration, it says Yah Ha Va. Look at this pronunciation, Yah Ha Va, Yehovah, Yehovah. All right, but that's not correct. It's Yah Ha Wa Ha So these are the 4 pronunciation sounds that these characters make. Okay. So it says is a variant is used as the word Lord, which is also why we don't say Ahaya when we're talking about the Most High. If I say Ahaya, I'm saying I am power. If I say Yahweh, I'm saying he is power. So you have a lot of brothers that grew up in the truth, a lot of sisters that grew up in the truth. They never got time to spend with their elder Rakah. They never got time to grow up with the elders of GOCC. And I remember when we were first contacting, when I say we, I mean Mashallah Yasha'Allah, the government of Israel, from the very first Hebrew Israelite Summit, was contacting Rakah. And what we were doing was we were trying to we were trying to help with the pronunciation. Rakah, the 2 main elders of GOCC, they know the name Yahweh, but they taught people to say Ahaya. So whenever somebody says Ahaya, they say I am power. When you say Yahweh, you say he is power. Okay. So here's the different variants of where it's used. All right. We have for Lord 6,510 times. For God, it's used 10 times. And if you notice, it's capital G, capital O, capital D. For Jehovah, it's only used 4 times. See? And whenever you see the word Lord, capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D, this all caps really does matter. Okay. These all caps really do matter as going to the name of Yahweh. All right. And variantly, it's used 1 time. Okay. So I'm going to go down. This is the Gesenius. This is the Gesenius Hebrew Chaldean lexicon, which means it's an older version of the concordance that we're using now. It's an older version. That's why it's picture printed. So Yahweh, Yahweh. See, so all you have to do is take this J, replace it with the Yah. Here, let me write it down for you. All right. And then, and please talk back to me. Okay. That's what today's like a review day. We're just kicking it. All right. All right. I got some things that I want to look at, but I also have some things I want y'all to be able to say. Okay. I want to be able to listen. Okay. So, Yah, Ha, Wa, and then the last character is Ha again. So there's 2 characters that make the same sound. All right. And then all of these characters have meaning. The first character is strength of a hand, like a strong hand. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The next character is a man bent to the side. He's saying, behold, behold. All right. This character means behold. The third character is a Wawa character. All right. Which they changed it to a V. All right. It was Wa, W, and they changed it to a V, but it's the symbol of a tent peg that goes down into the ground. Okay. And then the fourth character is the symbol of behold again. Okay. So let me show you real quick. And I'm going to change my pen color, my teacher pen. I love this pen. I love Yahweh's Law, Statutes, Commandments. It's my favorite pen though. All right. So this is Yah. This character is Ha. Each one of these characters have names and they have sounds and they have numerical value. All right. This character is Wa. This character is Wa. All right. W-A. And this character is Ha. Again. Ha. Yahweh. Now remember, of course, Lashon Kodash or Paleo Hebrew reads from right to left. So we read it pointing in this direction. Okay. I'm going to draw a big arrow. Okay. And Thawada, thank you for asking this. This is one of my favorite subjects to teach on. All right. I love the name of Yahweh. All right. Now, the pronunciation would be Yah, Ha, Wah. Now, a lot of times when people put his name in short, we just take out the A and we just leave the 4 main consonants, which is Y, H, W, H. Okay. And we just mainly leave in. But this is also how the people get the name. Hold on, I got to switch back to black. Hold on, bear with me. All right. J, which there is no E in Hebrew, okay? We don't have the E character, but we find out that the ayan character does make the E sound also. And then we don't have we have an H, okay? But we do not have a V, okay? I messed up. We do not have a V. We don't have an O, so we don't have a J. We don't have a O. We don't have a V, okay? We do have an A, and we do have a ha, okay? So, and I'm going to put this up to the screen real quick so you can see it. So these are the main characters that are used, and I'll explain what the paper shows. Okay. Okay. So let me switch back to the screen. And Thwadi Hawa. Can't see. Okay. Okay. You can't see. Okay. No sweat. So I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to go to the screen. So this is the Paleo Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew character. Let me pull up. Thank you for letting me know. Can't see. I appreciate that. All right. Hallelujah. Thwada for letting me know. Okay. So we're going to start our screen share. Boom. All right. Bear with me. And I want all of you to be able to see this as we go to the okay. So yeah, let me do this. Okay. So I hope you all will be able to see this also. That's too small. Let's do a bigger size. Okay. There we go. Let's do a bigger size. Okay. So what we just did was we went to the Hebrew word where it's Yahweh. Okay. Yahweh. Yah. This is the Wa character, and this is the Ha character. Okay. So Yahweh. All right. We see the same thing here. We see Yah, Ha, Wa, and Ha. Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. And when it's written out, it's pronounced Yahweh, Yahweh. But in English, as you'll see, it's pronounced Jehovah, Jehovah. Now, the issue is that we have no J in Hebrew. We have no O in Hebrew. And we have no V in Hebrew. That's the issue. So whenever we're saying Yahuwah, we also have no U in Hebrew. All right. Yahoshu, we have no O and we have no U. Yahoshu, Yahoshu, there's two sounds that are in there that just don't exist in the Paleo Hebrew pronunciation, which is the O and the U. And then we have the V. Okay. So it's very important to play around with, to learn the Paleo Hebrew pronunciation. The Paleo Hebrew pronunciation came around before there were vowel points. Okay. So there were no vowel points when Paleo Hebrew was first spoken. All right. It has other names. Some people call it Aramaic. All right. But we see this as capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D. This is another way of whenever you see this in your Bible and it's capital, 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 that means you're supposed to be using these four consonants, Yahweh, because the word Lord actually means Baal. The word Lord is a bad word. So, you know, so capital L-O-R-D means Yahweh. Capital G-O-D also stands for Yahweh. When you see Jehovah, it should be Yahweh also. See, so What we did earlier, we scrolled down to the Gesenius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon. All right. So it says Yahweh, which this is an older translation of the concordance that we're using today. So Yahweh, just change the J to a Yah, a Y, Yah. This is a Ha. This is a Wawa, W. And this is a Ha. So it's Yah, Ha, Wa, Ha. See? So it says name for the supreme power. And this is Allah. Wait, this is Ha, Allah, Hayam, Ha, Allah, Hayam, Ha, Allah, Ha, Yama. The, Ha in the beginning means the. Allah means power. Allah. Ha, Yam. Ha, Allah, Hayam. All right. So that means the most high power, the supreme power. All right. So Yahweh Elohim amongst the Hebrews, the later Hebrews for some centuries before the time of Mashiach, either misled by false interpretation or by certain laws, all right, or else following some older well, it's a lot of information on Yahweh's name. Whew. Boy, oh boy. So if you ever want to so if you ever want to, you can go to the Chaldee concordance, all right, from our brother Gesenius, all right, and get a lot of information on Yahweh's name. So here, this is what I'm going to do. All right. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to come here and I'm going to put this right here. And we stopped there for a second. And there we go. And I'm going to send this. If anybody wants to check out that, you know, that concordance section, that's why. Okay, that's where we're at. All right. Let me turn the screen share off. And that was a question that was for the sister. You know, I pray that appeased you, that helped you a little bit. All right, let's go to this real quick and let's see what Aqua said. She said, some people believe in numbers and colors. Is there any melanin? Some people believe in numbers and colors. I believe in numbers and colors. I think numerical value and a color value does have significance. Is there any meaning? Oh, meaning. Is there any meaning? Of course. Of course, there's numerical value and there's color value in Lashon Kodash in Hebrew. Absolutely. Give me a little bit more definition as far as what you mean to say so I can answer correctly, please. You didn't say anything wrong. So again, back to this question. Is there a difference in between Yahusha and Yahawashi? Yahusha and Yahawashi. You can pronounce either one of them, but I prefer to say Yahawashi. All right. Now there is a difference. I prefer to say Yahawashi just based off of reading it in Hebrew. When I read in Hebrew, it does say Yahawashi when I read it, you know, because of the characters that are there. Not only the characters, but the pronunciation of the sounds. And when I ask, hey, well, do you speak, you know, do you know the characters? You have to have the alphabet memorized in order to be, because once you got the alphabet memorized, you'll be like, oh, okay, well, this just is that. You know, it just blatantly says, you know, these characters, and then that'll extremely help you. So, but you're not alone, because just like somebody sat down with me to do the characters, to do the alphabet, I'll sit down with you to do the characters and alphabet, you know, and we can sit at it for hours. You know, there's only 22 characters in the original Paleo Hebrew alphabet. And these 22 characters, there's only one vowel, which is the ayan, the I, which some people pronounce it E. All right, so there's only that character, and everything else sounds the same. It's a, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, or E, pa, tza, kwa, ra, sha, and tha. If you notice, all of these characters have the same sounding, the same ending. Sound like Count Dracula, right? Like right? So all of them have that same sound, which is how you can easily pronounce and read Paleo Hebrew. This was before vowel points were invented. All right. So not before vowel points were invented, but before vowel points were used within Paleo Hebrew. Remember, the language that we're speaking is the language that comes from Genesis chapter 10, Genesis chapter 11, when Eber, he still spoke the language of Adam. So the other cultures, they had vowel points. They used vowel points. Even the Egyptians used vowel points even back in that time frame. But we stuck with the original pronunciation that our grandfather Eber stuck with, which was the pronunciation that our grandfather Adam stuck with, okay, which was the language of creation, the language from the Tower of Babel. So just go through it with me, King. I definitely don't mind. I see Ashwan Harab on here. If you have a second, if your eyes are willing and they'll allow you, will you please type out the 22 characters or sounds of the Paleo Hebrew alphabet for us? All right, just type out just then space, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, kala, mana, sa, ai, pa, za, kwa, ra, sha, ta. All right, so type those characters out for us, Baba Kusha. All right, and then I want to come back to your question. All right, some people believe in numbers and colors. Is there any meaning? All right, there's nothing wrong with that. Please just come back to that. All right, I see. Right. And that's the thing. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You know, once you see it, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's it. You know, so and then that'll take you to, you know, even further places in your studies. Okay. So I don't see any more questions up right now, which that's cool. That's cool. Don't nobody got no questions right now. That's cool. Okay. Well, we're gonna stick with our education from yesterday, which was our learning about King Solomon's temple. I like to wake up and study. I mean, it just makes me happy to study. So it's even better if we can study as a family, as a mashpachah. All right. Speaking of mashpachah, let me go ahead and do this. All right. If anyone needs to reach me, 614-999-2677 is my personal phone number. You can reach me on WhatsApp. Okay. You know what? I need to do a banner. Here, bear with me, everybody. I'm going to do a banner real quick. I'm going to do a ticker banner. Let me see. Can I make a ticker banner real quick? All right. Let's create a ticker banner. All right. Okay. So scroll across the bottom ticker. Okay. So my personal phone number is 614-999-2677. And it's better to reach me on WhatsApp. All right. So you can reach me on WhatsApp. But also, all right. And you can find me if you would like to donate to the ministry. All right. Which I encourage you to do, please. All right. You can contact me at the same phone number by way of Cash App. All right, my Cash App is 614-999-2677. And it's called Mashpachah Pa'aim. All right. But you can also find me on YouTube at same name, Isaiah Yasha'Allah. All right. All right. So I'm going to leave that information. I'm going to make this into a ticker. See if I can do that. Can I add that as a banner? Can I do that? Oh, wow. Got it. Yay. Look at that. Isn't that cool? All right. Let's see. Yay. I'm learning so much. Throw to everybody for building with us. All right. Okay, so my number is 614-999-2677. You can contact me on WhatsApp. The Cash App is #Mashpachah Pa'aim, which means family time. Okay, and you can find me also on YouTube under Isaiah Yasha'Allah. Okay, let's see if I can do something a little bit different. Let's change this. We had a woman's class last time. There we go. I like that. I like that. I like this one. I like green. Yeah, green. I'm from the tribe of Judah, man. Judah all day, man. You know, Let's see, Judah is the emerald. All right, I don't know if y'all can see that. Yahushua, he had a garment of emerald. So yeah, so that's your brother Zion. Let's change this into block also. I'm just getting so creative with it. I'm learning. Yay, how are ya? Okay. So let me go ahead and change that. Okay, I think that'll be it. I don't know how to close it now. I got it. Got it. Okay. All right. So with that being said, I need to slow it down though. I don't see any questions up. If anybody has any questions, Baba Shah, please do. All right. I can change this to green screen. Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. I can do a green screen. Wait a minute. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Wait, let's see. Wait, let's try this. Did it do it? Nah, I don't think it did it. Okay. Well, green screen, blue. Hey, well, green screen, blue screen, or blue screen is required. Okay. Well, hey, y'all, I'm going to try something one day. I'm going to try to use the green screen feature on here. Okay. See if we can set something up behind us. All right. That'll be pretty cool. All right. So let me get back to this. Let's get back to the comments. We got 2 new comments. Okay. You said, I see you would like to learn Hebrew. Okay. And your Cash App is, all right, Torrance Golden. All right. Khan. Let me write that down, brother. All right. TornceGolden. All right. So King Torrance Golden. I do believe in being a cheerful giver. I believe in ministering. I do believe in sharing. Right now, we are currently in Chiapas, Mexico. We are not located anywhere in America. So for the ministry and for those who know us, who know that we are doing international. International. The intergalactic. I was about to say the intergalactic ministry. For those of us who know that we're doing international ministry, we do put it out there that we're traveling, that we can use assistance. If anybody would like to share, give, bless to the ministry, it all goes to helping. So, but brother Torrance, I got your Cash App. I also put your Cash App up on screen. So if anybody would like to bless the brother Torrance Golden, Torrance, I pray I'm pronouncing your name correctly, man. There's the brother's Cash App. All right. So please, bless the ministry. Okay. So like you said, you would like to learn Hebrew. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. All right. So let me do this real quick. I'm going to show you what we'll be going off of. Now, a while back, you were not able to find this information on Google, on YouTube, on DuckDuckGo. This information came about way before it was popular, So I praise the Most High. I actually, I sit with my elders. I live with my elders. I sleep with my elders. I eat with my elders. I go to the store with my elders. And I've been living with the same Zaquanium for the past 12 years. All right, off and on, but more here recently. All right, for the past 12 years. Now, I want to show you something. I'm going to go to screen share real quick, Torrance. Okay. So bear with me. All right. My brother said, love to share a gift. Hallelujah. All praise. All right. And then Torrance, the sister, her name is Rashwan. She said she's gonna put the Paleo Hebrew pronunciations up for you. So she said, just give her a second. She's gonna type it up. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you, brother. All right. So let's switch to this real quick. We're going to switch to the screen share. And on the screen share, this is what I'd like to show you. So what I did was I typed in ancient Paleo Hebrew. Okay. Now, what I was saying was a few years back, it was not easy to just Google this information. It wasn't. There's just been a recent explosion. I remember when I first started learning Lashon Kodash, it's called the holy language or the holy tongue. When I first started learning Lashon Kodash or Paleo Hebrew, I tried to Google it and nothing came up. But within the past 11 years, there has been an explosion of information, just like the book of Daniel says, that information will be greatly expounded. All right. So you can literally Google this and start to, find out which character style, which font style, and all that stuff you would like to do and like to know. Now, what I would like to tell you is that the style that me and my family specifically has been using, even though there are many different ones, all right, there is a script that we use. Look at this. Ain't that so crazy? We have this book. This is Hathawara, which means the Torah. All right. This book was not easy to come by a few years back. Now everything is online. Look, let me show you this. OK, you see this right here. So this is not a made up language. All right. This is a stone that actually still has the Paleo Hebrew pronunciations and the spellings and the characters written on it. All right. So these letters are real. OK, these characters are real. OK, I want to find. Look at this ancient Paleo Hebrew. All right. Read right to left. Yahweh. Modern Hebrew is Yahweh. English is Yah. It should be still a Y. It shouldn't be a V. Wah. See, and they say Yod Hey Vav Hey, but it's not. It's Yah. It's Yad Ha, Wawa, and Ha. All right. So now I am not telling you to go on Google and get this information. That's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is that beforehand, this was very hard to find. But now, since it's everywhere, you can just, it literally pops up, But there's a specific font. Look at this. Paleo Hebrew script, Paleo Hebrew on coins. So this lets you know that this was still us. This was us before the Hebrew was actually changed. OK, look, you got apps, Paleo Hebrew apps. Ain't that crazy? So I would encourage you to get with brother. You can get with me. You can get with my elders. I live with my elders, and we can speak and communicate with each other in Lashon Kodash Paleo Hebrew. The children, say the prayers and Lashon Kodash. Our family do communicate in this language. So, Kantuara. Okay, that's 22 of them? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Wow, looking good there. So let's look at this real quick. So I would encourage you, brother, write these pronunciations down. OK, once you learn these pronunciations, then you can move on to the other pronunciations. And then you can be like, oh, now I see. What we always do is we always go to the oldest and then we move up to what's more recent. Like we have a brother named Malachi Maccabee. The brother is amazing with Hebrew, modern Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew. He can tell you he's just an amazing brother when it comes to going through the scriptures. Malachi Maccabee from the ST Hell, Yahoo. You already know what it is. Foes to the world blow. So these are the 22 characters that the sister put up there. And it's A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Cha, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, Ai, Pa, Ta, Za, T-A-Z-A is Tza, Tza. When you get better at it, you're supposed to pronounce it like Tza, 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 Tza. But you can say Taza. All right, just starting off. And then it's Qua. Notice there is no U next to the Q character. See, there's no QU. It's QA. It's Qua. And then you have the Ra, R-A, Ra, Ra, Ra. If you can roll your tongue, that's even better. Ra, Ra. And you have the Sha, and then you have Tha. Oh, the green screen is actually on. I turned on the green screen feature, and I can kind of tell. All right, this thing, it wants to pick up a green screen. That's pretty cool. We're going to try that later. All right, I'm going to try that later. All right. So Ra, and then lastly, Sha, and then Tha. All right, these are the 22 Paleo Hebrew characters and sounds. Sounds. Now, the characters can be shown. They can be written out. Okay, so I would like to write them out for you. All right. So if you don't mind, I'd like to write them out for you. Okay. So whenever you get a chance, brother, just hit me up, man, and we can do a personal WhatsApp, or we can do find me on YouTube if you don't already have me on Facebook. I'm sorry, find me on Facebook if you don't already have me on Facebook, and we can do a video, and then I'll just go over the characters with you. No, you don't. It's a very easy, very short journey. All you need to do is just communicate. You need to be with somebody that also speaks Paleo Hebrew regularly. All right. So you don't have a long journey. You just have to dedicate yourself to sitting down, writing the characters, and I'll do it with you. Okay. You got your own minister, brother. You know, and then on top of that, you have other brothers. Oh, the green screen is working. Look at that. Oh, it's trying to show y'all something. That is so cool. Oh, that is so cool. The green screen working. Okay. So you do have your own personal ministers. Okay. So you're not alone. It's a very short and easy journey. All right. It's just a consistent journey. All right. And then before you know it, you know, instead of saying thank you, you'd be like, oh, the water. Or instead of saying yes, you'd be like, oh, Khan. Or instead of saying no, you'd be like, oh, la. Okay. Thai brother. Okay, Khan. So yeah, so just hit me up on Facebook Messenger, hit me up on YouTube, and I'm not YouTube, but subscribe to my YouTube. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger or hit me up on WhatsApp Messenger, and we can go from there, brother. We can just sit down and talk about it. All right. So if there's nothing else, then what I'd like to do is go ahead and get started into this reading. All right. So let me show you this real quick. So we were looking at the temple, and please communicate, continue to talk, go back and forth, All right. I should do that. I should make this into a ticker. Let me see if I can save this. Can I save that? No, I'm not going to. Okay. So real quick, when we were looking at the building of the Temple of Solomon yesterday, we seen something that was absolutely beautiful. Let me see. What'd you say? They're up on YouTube, however, not on Facebook. Help me to understand what you mean. All right, Baba Kushai, please. All right. So I'm going to leave this up. All right. Oh, I think you're saying, like the tickers are up on YouTube, but the tickers aren't up on Facebook. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. But just let me know what you mean. All right. So real quick. So looking at King Solomon's temple yesterday. Something that we were showing, I think 2 videos back, was how everything from the Masonic organization stole all of, borrowed, plagiarized, whatever you want to call it, took all of their information, all of their teachings, etc., all that stuff from Israel, from Hebrew. So about 2 videos back, I was sitting outside. And you'll be able to find a video pretty easy. Like I said, it's only 2 videos back. I went into information on the Masonic customs and how they go into scriptures, or how they come from the scriptures, and also how the building of King Solomon's temple, even the names that are used in the Masonic organization, Jachin, Boaz, Hiram, how these names are used and taken from the Hebraic Israelite culture. Well, I want to show you this real quick. Let me see. I'm going to start the screen share again. We should be good. All right. You all let me know if y'all can see this, okay? Let me switch to this real quick. And we're going to start our screen share. Okay, I need to go running. I need some running shoes. It's just a thought. All right. Okay, so let's go to this real quick. All right, Ali Ashabai, Khan. We got comments up. Okay, so that might be too small for the screen. Let me make myself smaller and make the information bigger. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so look at this. Now, you may not know about these just right off the bat, but these are, as you see, it says pillars of Solomon, Jachin, and Boaz. All right. Boaz is on the left side from where we're looking. Jachin is on the right side from where we're looking. All right. Now, archaeologists and people today still say that they don't know the significance of these pillars. Some people think that they were switches that once something mechanical was triggered, that, you know, they would move down or move up. I don't know. Okay. But they're important to know. If you notice, there's a sphere on top of the pillar. These pillars, both sides, represented the earth and the constellations, the moon, the stars, the sun. So even back in these time frames, the children of Israel, we knew that the earth wasn't flat. Outside of King Solomon's temple, these pillars stood, and they were made with beautiful artistry work. Now, if we scroll down a little bit more, what do you notice here? You notice anything specific here? You see the two pillars, see? Jachin and Boaz, Boaz and Jachin. But look, there's a bunch of different symbolism around them, a bunch of Masonic symbolism around them. See? So everything that had to do with the temple of the Most High, the Masonic order has, I'm not just going to say hijacked, because to a certain degree, I believe that it may have had also been done in order to preserve information for us. Okay. And I believe that the Most High did this. I believe that this is the work of the Most High. Now, this is a replica, supposed to be a replica of King Solomon's temple, which is absolutely amazing. I want to show y'all a 3D video of it. All right. Now, how King Solomon's temple was set up was, this would be, now I don't have everything memorized. And as I learn, I will teach you, you know, and then you all can teach me also. Now, if you see this part, you see this long section that's right here. These are apartments. And on this side, these are apartments. So you have apartments on this side. You have apartments on this side. And there was also apartments along the back side. Why? Because the Levites lived here. The Levites lived inside the temple of the Most High when they were on duty. You have the two pillars. You have Jachin and you have Boaz. All right. And then this will be the porch, and then going into the inner courts. All right. You have the windows up top. So the Holy of Holies would be way back here. Okay. But we'll look at that in a visual detail later. Okay. But look at this. Boaz and Jachin, the two pillars outside the temple of the Most High. All right. Now I'm going somewhere with this. Just be patient. Wait on me. All right. Don't leave me, y'all. All right. Okay. So, see, I just want you to see the images first before we move forward. All right. Okay. I like this. This is a really cool diagram. This is a cool diagram. All right. This is showing like a topical view of the temple of the Most High. All right. And I know it's blurry, but these are the two pillars. These are the menorahs that were set up on the other side, altar of incense. And then you go into the Holy of Holies. That's the Ark of the Covenant. All right. All right. Hold on one second. We're going to switch speed here in a minute. Now, if you look at this, this looks very encryptic. This doesn't look Hebraic. This looks clearly Masonic. Okay. And I mean speculative Masonic. I mean today's form of Masonic. Now, remember, the original Israelites are the Masons. We are the original master builders. Just like Paul said, you know, he said he was a master builder. Paul was a tent maker. Okay. We are illuminated by the light of Yahweh's word. The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1-3. All right. We are illuminated. We are the illuminated ones. Okay. So in this Masonic picture, you'll see the eye. It's supposed to be the eye of the Most High, the eye of God. You see the two pillars, right? Two pillars. See the two spheres on the top, earth, and then outer constellations, the sun, the moon. All right. So we knew that's one we knew that the sun and the moon, we knew that the earth wasn't flat. All right, that is a ridiculous teaching. That's a new teaching that the earth is flat. You'll never get me with that one. The earth is not flat. All right. You know, we have the archaeology to prove it. We also, if you want to find out where the flat earth doctrine came from, just go back to the origin of it. Go back to the original teachers of who the flat earth doctors, teachers are. You know, Israel has no business believing that the earth is flat. All right. Okay. So what we seen the pillars of King Solomon, right? We also seen how the Masonic organization. All right. Let me pull some more up. Let me just put in the word real quick. Mason. Masons. Let's see what pulls up. Okay, pretty much the same images. You know, a bunch of Masonic pictures. You know, each one of these things. Look at, that's the cable toe. That's the toe and cable. All right. You have Boaz, Jachin. See, all right. So Freemasonry. You know, the funny part about Freemasonry is that, you know, it's good to have information, but remember this, Israel, the secret things belong to Yahweh. This is Deuteronomy 29:29. But those things which are revealed belong to us and to our children, that we may do all the words of his law forever. So even the secret things that they claim to know still belong to us. The only thing that's really mystic about this is just the imagery. Look, and even with this is an old Masonic apron. Look at what's at the bottom of the apron, fringes. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this subject alone just for a minute. All right. And let's get back to our screen share and to our reading. Okay. All right. So we're gonna. Okay. The sounds I couldn't post on Facebook because my Facebook is down. However, I asked Elias Shabai to put it on Facebook. Okay, I'll pull it up. Okay, perfect, wonderful. Okay, so we're going to read this real quick. And this is still from yesterday's reading of the Shabbat for the Temple of Solomon. Okay, I'm going to leave the characters up just in case the brother want to write them down. Anybody wants to write them down. Those are the 22 characters of Paleo Hebrew. All right. Now watch this. We're going to be reading out of Flavius Josephus. Okay. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? That's because I have the green screen, the green screen feature on. Later on, I'm going to use the green screen feature. I don't know how to turn it off right now, though. Wait, I think I do. Let me see if I can turn it off. I can do it. I can do all things. Mashiach Yahweh strengthens me. I'm going to turn off the green screen feature. Okay. None. All right. And then later on, I'll be using the green screen feature. All right. Can't wait to show y'all that. I want to play around with it. That is cool. Paying for StreamYard benefits. Okay. Okay. So let's get to this real quick. So what we seen was that the Masonic organization used all the information of the Hebrews. Okay, that's the funny thing about the secrets of Masonry. It's going to take you back to the information of the Israelites. It's going to take you back to the information of the Hebrews. All right, that's the funny part about that. All right, there is no higher power than Yahweh. All right, the Masonic organization does go into some other things that are off. You know, which. For what I've seen, I was like, yeah, it's the Sabbath. I'm not getting involved in that, you know. But I've never seen any homosexuality, even though I know that, you know, sodomy and homosexuals, you know, that's a real thing that's prevalent in this wicked world. I was never exposed to anything like that. But I did see that the major thing was that reverence wasn't given to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to the degree of us just being in our natural culture. So Israelites don't, I'm gonna say, you know, it's not for us. You know, it's good to have references. It's good to have people to build with, stuff like that. But, you know, we got everything we need right here. You know, I do believe that their library is amazing. If you've never seen the Masonic library, it's amazing. It's like, I really could just chill up in here. But let me read this real quick. This is Antiquities of the Jews, book number 8. And chapter 3, we're going to read paragraph number 4. Okay, paragraph number 4, and it reads, now when Solomon sent for the artificer out of Tyre, whose name was Hiram. Now, remember when we first started talking about this, we talked about two different Hirams. One Hiram was the king of Tyre. This Hiram is a different Hiram. All right, you have Hiram, you have Hiram Abiff. Okay, watch this. Now, when Solomon sent for the artificers out of Tyre, whose name was Hiram, he was by birth of the tribe of Naphtali. Okay, he was by birth of the tribe of Naphtali. And let me see if I can pull up some videos. Okay. Okay. So it says, he was by birth of the tribe of Naphtali on his mother's side, for she was of that tribe. But his father was of the stock of the Israelites. This man was skillful in all sorts of work, but his chief craft lay in the working of gold and in silver and in brass. See? So remember when Masha had gave us instructions to build the tabernacle of the Most High when we were in the wilderness.
Brass or bronze pillars which stood in the porch of Solomon's temple, the first temple in Jerusalem.
Let me pause that real quick. So when we were in the time frame of Masha, he had us to work with gold, brass, silver, copper. All right. So copper, brass. So this man specifically was skilled in this trade. Okay. This was his profession. So also it's very important to note that he was of the Israelite stock. Okay. He wasn't just some Goyim that came in. Yo, Shalom, big bro. Always happy to see you, Ace Judah. Hallelujah. All praise, man. That's a hitter right there. That's a hard hitter in the scriptures, man. Sometimes that brother be saying stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm like, oh, hey, Ace Judah got him. What you want me to say? Ace Judah got his hands on you. What you want me to do? Turn him back? I can't do it. So Ace Judah is one of our beloved brethren, man. All right, so again, we're learning about the Temple of Solomon still. Okay, so we're in the book of Flavius Josephus. We're in book number 8, chapter 3, paragraph 4, line 76, and it reads, now Solomon, he was by birth of the tribe of Naphtali on his mother's side, for she was of that tribe. But his father was of the stock of the Israelites. This man was skillful in all sorts of work, but his chief skill lay in workings of gold and silver and brass, by whom were made all the mechanical works about the temple. Now, what's interesting about that? What's interesting about that is that the terminology, the mechanical works. So this lets us know that the Temple of Solomon, just like temples of old, had to do with gears, had weights, had pressures, had valves. See? Now, when it comes to talking about Hiram, this specific Hiram, he was a mechanic. This man knew how to make doors go up. He knew how to make doors close, levers, gears, things turning. Now, something that I found, which I thought was interesting, which I'm not going to teach it because I don't have enough information to teach it, was that the Temple of Solomon not only was mechanical, but the pillars would move. They had the ability to either go downward or be lifted up. I don't have enough information to teach on it, so I'm just going to say that part, which, so, but the point is this right here. All right. When we're looking at this Hiram, he was a master at his skill, which was what? Which was mechanical works, which was working with iron, working with brass, working with copper. All right. But this is also working with gears. So again, just like we did 2 videos back, okay, 2 videos back, We did a real quick breakdown, and it's the video where I'm sitting outside. You know, I'm at a table. It's a white wall behind me. You can tell because I'm outside. Okay. So, but in the video, you know, we were discussing how the Masonic organization got all of their information and still is teaching their information from a Hebraic perspective. All right. Is everything is being taught from an Israelite perspective. It's just being taught, you know, like that's the secret. You know, what's the big secret? The big secret is that Yahweh is God, you Negroes are Israelites, and all our information is coming from the true Jews of the Bible. I was like, what am I doing in here then? I was like, what am I even doing here? I could just go and learn from some Israelites. All right. So that's the big secret. Okay. You Negroes need to return to your heritage. And I'm telling y'all, once that Edomite man told me that he knew I was an Israelite, not only that he knew I was Israelite, that he was glad that I found out I was an Israelite. I was like, oh, well, well, you just told me, so peace. Like I'm out. I'm gonna go and kick it with some Israelites who actually know this information. So that's the big secret. You know, everything is missed. The scripture says Jacob is the former of all things. So as we're looking at this, the temple of the Most High that was made by King Solomon, you see everything that's there has significance, it has meaning. And this is why the Masonic organization hijacked our information and then started using it, you know, as some type of esoteric, you know, secret type knowledge information. Look, if you Negroes return to your heritage, if you read the Torah, if you read the Bible regularly, if you read the Torah portion regularly, you will find out what your information is. All right. You'll find out. All right. So let's get back to this real quick. So now Solomon sent for an artificer out of Tyre, whose name was Hiram. He was by birth of the tribe of Naphtali on his mother's side, for she was of that tribe. But his father was of the stock of the Israelites. This man was skillful in all sorts of work, but his chief skill lay in working in gold and in silver and in brass, and whom he made all the mechanical works of the temple. You see that? That's hard. Is your picture a broken piece of glass? That's hard. All right. All praise, all praise. Praise the Most High, sister. That's right. All praise. All praise. All right. I'm glad to see you back here. If you have any questions, anything that you want to bring up, please do. We are just chopping it up. We're just politicking. Okay. So if anybody has anything you want to bring up, please do. Let's spend time in the word and the scriptures. Let's ask questions. Let's look at stuff. Let's go over things together. All right. So by whom he made all the mechanical works about the temple accordingly to the will of Solomon. Moreover, this Hiram, look at this. This Hiram made 2 hollow. Do you know how cold you got to be to make a hollow whose outsides were brass? Now, if they were hollow, does that mean that they were meant to fill up with something? Does that mean that the purpose of these pillars were to fill up with something? I mean, I'm not trying to just throw stuff out there. Like, I'm really asking these questions because when I look at it, you know, I see 2 perspectives. I see the perspective that I was taught through the Masonic fraternity, and I see the perspective that I was taught through the true fraternity, which is Yahweh's fraternity. So the Masonic organization has these pillars in their representation. As you can see, the sun, the moon, the earth, the constellations. So we never believed that the earth was flat. That's a new teaching. So for those of you that have been persuaded that the earth is flat, even way back in the time frame of King Solomon, the pillars of the Most High had 2 spheres on top of them, one of them representing the earth. Okay. The other one representing the constellation or the moon or the sun. Okay. All right. There are also pomegranates designs on them. So these are the pillars that are used in Freemasonry now. Okay. Look at that. So they literally hide. Listen, once I found out that there was, I was like, I'm an Israelite. Like, yo, I'm okay. I'm not gonna be coming here on the Sabbath no more. Go and watch the video I did again 2 days ago. All right. Go and listen to that, study that. You'll get some really good scriptures out of it, showing that the Israelites are the original Masons. All right. The master builders. We built everything. We built the White House. We built America. We built Egypt. We built everything. See? Look, there's an old mosaic. It has the pillars, Jachin and Boaz. These things are everywhere. And we never knew it. Look, Boaz, Jachin, Boaz, Jachin. All right. Look, see the two spheres on the top? See? I had a ring like that, boy. Somebody stole it out of my car. I was mad. It was actually better than this. It had an emerald. No, it had a ruby going over the top of it. That mug was hard. Boaz, Jachin. Look, it's everywhere. Boaz, Jachin. See? So you can look this up for yourself. This is a good representation of the Temple of Solomon. All right, this is pretty cool. This is called a bath. It was a sea. I think this was a 5,000 gallons or something like that of water. All right, but we'll look into it. All right, so let's get a good picture and let's stop on it. Let's stop right there. So let's get back to this, right? So matter of fact, let's do this one. All right. So the two pillars outside of the temple. All right. Moreover, this Hiram made 2 hollow pillars whose outside were brass, and the thickness of the brass were 4 fingers or 4 breadth, and the height of the pillars were 18 cubits. So these things are about 30 feet tall. All right, 30 feet tall and 8 feet wide. These things were huge. 30 feet tall, 8 feet wide. Okay, so these things were magnanimous, huge pillars made out of brass. All right. Their circumference was 12 cubits, and they were cast with each of their chapiters of lily works that stood upon the pillar. So this means that they had lilies and they had great designs going around them. All right. Was stood about the pillar, and it was elevated 5 cubits round about, which there was network interwoven with small palms made with brass and covered with lily work. So you see that symbol of the so-called this symbol. All right, this is the symbol of the square and the compasses. But when you connect the square and the compasses together, then you actually end up with, the sacred geometry that the Most High's made, which does go back to the symbol of the lily. It does go back to the symbol of the pomegranate. So these things were all over this, lilies and pomegranates and flowers. And, another thing about this, and I think I spoke on this later, is you have on either side of the temple of the Most High, this side and on that side, these were apartments that the Levites used to live in whenever they were doing their duties. These were just rows upon rows of apartments. It had a section in the middle to where a bunch of people stayed on the bottom. Everybody had their own individual room. And then you go up a ladder, and then there was a section all up on top. These were all apartments going all the way around, man. King Solomon's temple was amazing. All right. So let's get back to this. Roundabout, which was network interwoven with small palms made of brass and covered with lily work. To this also were hung 200 pomegranates in 2 rows. And one of these pillars he set at the entrance of the porch. On the right hand, he called Jachin, and on the left hand, he called Boaz. So these 2 temples had names. Pillars. These 2 pillars had names and they had meanings. Okay. So when you see, and I'm telling y'all, go back and watch the video I did 2 days ago. All right. Again, I'm sitting outside. All right. None of these can show a proper representation of the beauty of the artwork. These are too skinny. I don't know what the heck is wrong with these. These are anorexic pillars. This whole temple is way too small. But I ain't mad at them. Somebody did the artwork to make it. Somebody did the artwork to make it. I don't know how to do computer graphics. All right. So salute to whoever did the work. I didn't do it. But here's the point. What's the point? The point is that everything that you see, and I praise the Most High that he allowed me to go on the journeys that I went on, to go on the adventures that I went on, to go and learn the things that I've been learning in my travels. Scripture says a man that traveled much knoweth much. All right. And I don't know as much as, my elders at all. Okay. Brother, I love that. All praise. That brother said, I stand on my circle and not my square. All praise. That's right, brother. That's right, brother. All right. So it's good to know these things. Why? Because if you know, the origin of something, you can know like you could just disseminate anything. You can just break anything down. All right. So we have to learn what the temple of the Most High looked like. What was the details? We've been on this subject for probably maybe 2 or 3 days. All right. We've been on this subject probably like 2 or 3 days. Why? Because when the Most High brought me into the truth first, I went from being into the streets to I was like, well, hey, I got to do something different. I tried to go to the military. The military wouldn't accept me because I had tattoos. And I was like, what you mean? I'm like, yo. So then from there, I went to summer camp for a long time. And then after summer camp, I was like, I got to do something different. I couldn't go to the military. And that's crazy. I actually wanted to go. Before I came into the truth, I was about to be, I don't care. But it was really discouraging. I was like, man, you mean to tell me I can't even get in the military? Like, I spent my whole life gangbanging, and I'm trying to get into the army. Y'all won't let me in because I got tattoos. And then, excuse me, why'd I lift up my glasses to cough? I was like, that was backwards. So then, I learned about the Masonic organizations. Like the model that I heard was that they make good men better. It's like, okay, well, I'm a good man, I want to be better. And then while I was actually involved in a Masonic organization, that's when the Most High woke me up to me being an Israelite. All right. And it was just amazing because there were certain brothers that didn't want me to come around. It was like, nah, that brother Mason, he can't come and be a part of our community. We don't want him around. No, you cannot come around. I was like, dang. And I praise the Most High, man. There was a brother, and he's still my brother today, which is my elder, Parazah. He's like, man, I can't do that, man. I can't do that, man. That's wicked, man. And that brother never let go of me, man. And, I've been a student ever since, man. So while I was involved in learning that organization, the Most High woke me up to his truth, because that's really what I was looking for. I was looking for the truth of Yahweh. I was looking for, what do I do? These laws, statutes, commandments, I knew the laws of the wickedness of the world. I just didn't know the laws of the Most High, and and it's true, if you knock, you will find, seek. Shalom, So he did show himself, and he's still showing himself, and I'm very grateful to this very day, that that I can share this information, that I can bring out this information, and I can prove it. I can say, hey, listen, this is how I know this. This is how I know that. It's the experience that the Most High has given me in my travels. Okay. So with that being said, I think I'm gonna rest the floor on that. I just wanted to read that part about the temple. I got a little bit more I'm going to read. Now, this is going into the wisdom of King Solomon. Okay. So there is no wisdom that's above the wisdom of the Most High. All wisdom is of the Lord. All right. All wisdom is of Yahweh, Bahasham HaMashiach Yahushai. And you can only get wisdom by dealing. Man. Oh, wow. Ace Judah, you said it right on time. Wow. Let me see if I can pull up Ace Judah's comment. My laptop is running kind of slow right now. But Ace Judah said, all praise the Most High, always guiding us by the spirit of wisdom. And that's exactly what Yahweh did, man. He guided me by the spirit of wisdom. He protected me by the spirit of wisdom. And when I didn't know any better, when I was like super ignorant, and I thought, which I still don't know a lot. But when I thought that I was doing things the right way, and I was doing things the wrong way, I was still looking. And that's why I don't like to rebuke a lot of brothers or sisters, that come into the truth up under, they might have came into the truth up under Islam. Okay, well, you came into the truth up under a Pentecostal, or up under Seventh-day Adventist, or up under Baptist, or up under, you might have been raised Catholic, whatever. It's just the fact that there's people, those of us that are actually looking, or actually searching, you know, and we want to know, what did the Most High say? What are the things of the Most High? So he does guide us by a spirit of wisdom. You know, so Tawada, thank you for that, H. Judah, man. Absolutely, man. I agree with you. All praise the Most High, always guiding us by spirit wisdom. All right, absolutely, hallelujah. Because I'm telling you, yo, I go back and watch. If you didn't see the video, go back and watch it, man. It's like 2 days ago. I was outside, and you know, the whole thing was, you know, breaking down scripture, showing how we're the original illuminated ones. All right, don't be afraid if somebody says something pertaining to the Illuminati or something like that. I'm gonna bring this up real quick. Let me see. I'm gonna show y'all a message that I got. I'm gonna involve y'all in my personal life real quick. I'm gonna screen share it. I'm gonna screen share it. Okay. So first, I gotta get it cracking first. All right. So, looking at the wisdom of King Solomon. Okay. Of course, the Bible is the main book that's used in the Masonic organization. Yeah, Khan, hallelujah. Please do. Yeah, please do, brother. Please do. It's a good video, man. It's a good video. All right. So, of course, bringing out scriptures. All right. It's not very long. It's probably like 1 hour and 30 minutes. So that's usually how I try to do now. I try to keep these videos really short, probably like 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'm probably going to go a little bit over today, you know, hour and a half. But, King Solomon, that's going to be my next topic that I'm going to be speaking on. There are a bunch of books that King Solomon wrote, and we don't even know the half of them. We don't even know the half of them. All right. King Solomon wrote odes. He wrote Proverbs. He wrote Psalms. All right. These were all things that were given to King Solomon by the spirit of wisdom. Okay. So, all right, man, I hate that, man. Right now, the internet's running kind of slow, so I don't want to be an internet proverbial hog. Okay, sorry for using that terminology. So I think others in the family are also probably using the internet, so I don't want to slow it down too much. So I won't be able to pull that information up. All right, but I will go ahead and continue with my reading. I wanted to show y'all some stuff, but my laptop's it's running really slow. All right, and H. Judah, we put this up here for our brother Torrance, brother Ty, and a few other people, family members that wanted to learn the Paleo Hebrew pronunciation. Oh man, I'm telling you, brother, to raid the Vatican. Oh, you're talking about going underground. You know, the scripture says we will run up the sides and go into their windows like a thief. And then, all praise Yahweh, the Wadi Yahweh for his word. By Shema Mashak Shah. Go back and watch the other videos. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, I see you on Facebook. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, please go to the Facebook and subscribe to the Facebook. You know, you'll find pictures and videos of me when my locks was like this short. My locks was this short, and I was like this. I was really skinny, and I had short, like super short locks. So also some music videos stuff on there. So go to the YouTube, subscribe to it. Okay. It's Isaiah Yasha at Isaiah Yasha at YouTube. All right. So anywho, but yeah, so H. Judah, man, to raid the Vatican. Oh man. Because listen, you know, all of the stuff that we had from the first temple, the Catholic Church has that, because all of the stuff from the first temple, when we lost it, the Most High gave it back to us. All right. The Persians, you know, they were decent to us in captivity, I guess. You know, King Artaxerxes had favor. You know, he was a believer of the Most High. So he and his father Darius was a believer of the Most High. All right. So all of those things came back to us, and then we got them back in the second temple. And from the second temple, when we were raided, you know, all of those artifacts are still there. You know what they don't have, though? They don't have the Ark of the Covenant, you know. And I seen archaeology said this Edomite named Ron Wyatt found the Ark of the Covenant. No, you didn't. Negro, you would have had boils and hemorrhoids, and, you know, your eyeballs would have started bleeding and all kind of stuff. You know, every time the Ark of the Covenant appeared in the hands of another nation, boom, plagues hit them. So the safest place for the Ark of the Covenant is right now in the same cave that Jeremiah buried it in, which is 2 Maccabees chapter 2, starting in verse 1. So they don't have the Ark of the Covenant. And we know ain't no Hamites got the Ark of the Covenant, because when we go to Samuel chapter 5, 1 Samuel chapter 5 and chapter 6, every time the Hamites got the Ark of the Covenant, they got their false deities fell down. They got emerods, hemorrhoids, them plagues hit them. So the Most High ain't dealing with all nations. He's dealing with the children of Israel. We just got to get back right so we can deal with him. We just got to get back right. That's all. All right. So let's look at this real quick. This is some of the wisdom that the Most High gave King Solomon. OK, I read this on last night's program, but I didn't finish reading it. All right. So I wanted to bring this out, too. And all of this also does go into the wisdom of Solomon and the building of the temple. All right. So if you heard this last night, this is just going to be a refresher. If you've never heard this, it's really going to be interesting. So let's start with this. There are some people who will say that King Solomon was a witch. Some people that will say King Solomon was a warlock. Well, unfortunately, King Solomon did go to the left hand, but at first he was on the right hand side. King Solomon was on the side of righteousness. He knew what was right. He did what was right. He observed the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. But unfortunately, when King Solomon fell, he didn't fall because of his love of women. All right. He didn't fall because of his love of women. He fell because of his love of women and then loving their gods. All right. That's why King Solomon fell. All right. So it is true that King Solomon did have an abundance of women. When Josephus talks about King Solomon, he says that he was unrestrained in his appetite. He says that King Solomon was just unrestrained in his appetite. So if he seen her and she was bad, he was taking her. All right. So unfortunately, this led to his downfall, to where he became the mockery of men, and he became the mockery of evil spirits. Okay. So there is a book that's called, if anybody would like to check this out, let me pull it up first. All right, we're going to stick with right where we are. There's a book called and what I'm going to encourage you to do is, first of all, stick with the Torah, stick with the Holy Scrolls. All right. But for those of you that are spiritually mature, there are a plethora of books that can be found that go back to the knowledge that King Solomon knew. Okay. If you know about them, then cool. You know about them. I don't think I'm going to bring them up right now. But within these books, they do talk about certain skills and things that King Solomon knew, such as evil spirits, such as demons. All right. Khan. Must get my temple in control, Big Ock. But I will be out soon. Hey, check this out. This is what I found out, Big Judah. The best way to get your temple in order is to do it while you're fighting for your relationship with the Most High, and not to wait, not to tarry, not to put anything off, but to do your struggle and ask the Most High to help you while you're going through your struggle. All right. That's the best thing that I found. All right. Like when I was smoking, when I could not stop smoking, when I was addicted to Black and Milds, I hated cigarettes because I didn't like the whole, it was just too chemically. But back when Black and Milds was $1 a pack, back when Black and Milds was $1.50 a pack or something like that, that was like in 1996, 97, man. I was addicted to smoking blacks. But I remember I smoked Black and Milds so much that one time, a few times in the morning, more than a few times, I would go to the bathroom and I would, and I was literally able to pull and wrap it around my finger black tar from smoking Black and Milds. That's just me personally. That's my own personal testimony. But the reason why I say that is because I got into this habit of every time I smoked, I used to pray and smoke at the same time. I used to say, Lord, I don't even want to smoke. God, please take this away from me. I would pray and smoke at the same time, man. Now, I don't know if this has anything to do with you. I'm just speaking about me. You didn't mention anything about you. I'm just talking about me. I used to pray and smoke at the same time and ask the Most High to take it away from me. I used to be like, man, I don't even like these things. Man, this is nasty, man. I can't even stand this. So first I started to tell myself I didn't like it. I didn't want it. I don't like it. Yahweh, please take it away. But at that time, I was like, God, in the name of Jesus, please take this away from me. And I would pray and smoke at the same time, you know. And one day I went outside because I would bite the tip of my black with these teeth right here. I would hold her hand. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So one day, I would always know which black and mild was mine. You know, people said they blacks around, and you know, I used to do I used to freak the black. All right, get all of it out. You know, take all of it. My bad. Take all of it out. You know. Okay, put that down. Then I would pull out that thin cardboard piece of paper. Let's get that out of here. And I would put it up and out. All right, get it all up in there. But then I go a step further. I take my lighter and I'd burn the tip. I burn the plastic of the tip. And I put like this bubble in it. I used to freak my blacks. So one morning, man, one morning I put my black down on the windowsill and I went outside and I picked up my black. And remember, I used to always pray while I smoked. So, so I used to always pray when I smoked. So I went outside and I put it right where my teeth, right there. I was like, this is nasty. I was like, I don't even smoke. I was like, I don't even smoke. And I flicked it. That was the last time I smoked the black and mild. That's a good, I don't know, maybe 18, 17 years ago. But here's the point. The Most High took it away from me. And one day, all of a sudden, he took smoking away from me. Smoking black and mild, smoking cigarettes. All right. Smoking beaties. All right. And it was like, I just didn't smoke no more, but I spent years praying, asking the Most High, like, I don't like smoking. I was like, yo, Lord, please take this away from me. Take this away from me. I don't want to smoke no more. And I just remember it, man. And brothers used to look at me like I was stupid because I would be kicking it with the rest of the homies. Like, man, I don't even like smoking, cuz. I'm like, well, give it to me, you know. So my point of saying that is to say, whatever it is that our issue, it could be smoking, it could be whatever. I don't need to know. Whatever it is, ask the Most High to help you with it while you're in the middle of doing it, no matter what it is. When I say no matter what it is, I literally mean no matter what it is. All right. Especially if it's a vice, if it's a vice, something that we don't have control over no more, you know. So that's my personal testimony on how the Most High took smoking away from me, black and mild, cigarettes. All right. So Most High can do it for you too, but you know, for all of you. But the thing is to ask him for his help while you're struggling with whatever issue it is. Okay. So let's read this real quick. I don't want to go past 2 hours. We're at 1 hour and 30 minutes. All right. So I'm going to stop this video at the end of this reading. So when you're finding out about King Solomon and you study King Solomon, you'll see some people, especially in Islam, they call King Solomon a witch, or they'll call him a warlock, you know. And it's true that King Solomon had knowledge over the things seen and the things unseen. When you read Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7, starting at verse 17, you know, he says, wisdom taught me all things. He knew all things. You know, he knew the beginning, the end, the middle of the earth, the middle of the world. He knew that the earth wasn't flat. If otherwise, he would have told us the earth was flat. But let's look at this real quick. All right. So Wisdom of Solomon, Flavius Josephus. All right. And here, how about this? How about I pull it up on screen so y'all can read it with me? All right. That'll be better. All right. Flavius Josephus, Antiquities of the Jews, book number 8, chapter 2. All right. We're going to start a screen share and then I'll look for it with you. All right. We can do this together. And then this will be the end of this video after this reading. The water for everybody spending time with us. It's just an open session, just building, you know, just an open session building. So I appreciate everybody spending time. All right. So we'll start our screen share. And from our screen share, we will begin to read together so you can see this for yourself. Now, be careful whenever you're going into apocryphal books. If you're going into different apocryphal books, and if you ever find a book that says it's Gnostic, stay 12,000 feet away from it. All right. Yeah, right. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, repentant. Yeah, King Solomon was repentative, especially at the end of his life. Especially at the end of his life. All right. Our dear beloved King Solomon. All right. So don't ever speak bad on King Solomon. OK, he was still elected and chosen by the Most High. The water for putting that up there, man. That's a beautiful word. Repentance. All right. King Solomon was very repentant. Make sure you get with me, Ty Torrance, man, so we can do a live video on going through the Lashon Kodash or Paleo Hebrew together. OK, so this is a few different websites. I don't like using this one. This is called Perseus. I'm pretty sure Perseus got some good stuff, but Penelope, University, Chicago Education. All right. Their Josephus is pretty self-explanatory. It's really easy to find. All right. And I'll also put the link in here. So if anybody would like to see it for themselves. OK. All right, let me copy. Go back to StreamYard. I'm going to paste this link. All right. OK. And let's go ahead and send it just in case anybody want to see it for themselves. Okay, so we are in the book of Flavius Josephus, and we're in chapter, book number 8. We're in chapter 2. So let's go down to chapter 2, and we're going to go to line 44. Let me make sure we're in the right one. Nope, that's not right. Book 2, we should be in book 8. All right, so let's go to book 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. How Solomon received the kingdom and took off his enemies. All right, let's go down to chapter 2. Concerning the wife of Solomon, concerning his wisdom and riches, concerning what he obtained from Hiram for the building of the temple. So that's where we're at. We're going to go to paragraph 44. Okay. So these are letters. This is interesting. These are letters that King Solomon and Hiram wrote back and forth to each other. King Solomon was a master of doing riddles. He was a master at asking questions and just leaving you stump. All right. So him and Hiram. So Hiram was pretty fly at it, too. So after Hiram died, then King Solomon and Hiram's son went back and forth with asking each other questions. And that's how they kept each other sharp. All right. It's mental exercise. OK. So that's pretty interesting. So y'all should look at that. All right. All right. So we're going to go to chapter 2. Epistles remain to this day. Copies of these epistles remain to this day. Let me see. Let me see. How does this start? And bear with me while I find it. It's not an easy work going through these scrolls. All right. It's not an easy work doing this. OK, so bear with me. OK, so we're going to start at paragraph or line number 5. OK, so this is where we'll be reading from. If anybody would like to screenshot it, you can screenshot it and read it for yourself. All right. If not, you can go back and look at it for yourself. OK, now check this out. This is very interesting. Now, the sagacity and wisdom which Allahiah bestowed on Solomon was so great that he exceeded the ancients in so much that he was in no way inferior to the Egyptians. So if anybody want to bring up anything about the Mizraimites, the Hamites, they was so what? No, King Solomon was wiser than them. All right. Who are said to have been beyond all men in understanding. Nay, indeed, it is evident that their sagacity was much inferior to that of the kings. He also excelled and distinguished himself, He also excelled and distinguished himself in wisdom above those who were most eminent amongst the Hebrews at that time for shrewdness. Those, I mean, were Athan, Haman, Chalcol, Darda, the sons of Mahal. He also composed, look at this now, pay very close attention to this because I'm going to show you something. He also composed odes and songs. Look at this. Odes and songs, 1,005, and parables and similitudes of 3,000. We know about Psalms. We know about Psalms, which was written by his father. We know about Proverbs. And within our 1611 King James, we have I'm not against it. I love our book, but there's information that we know that's been taken out. All right. Look at this, an ode. All right. A lyrical stanza, which are raps. These were songs. King Solomon wrote songs. King Solomon wrote flow. He had bars. His father had bars. Look at this. It is elaborately structured in a poem praising or glorifying an event or an individual. Now watch this. Odes of Solomon. Look at that. Look at that. Did you know about this? Did you know that Solomon had Psalms and he had odes also? Look at this. See? What are the odes of Solomon? Early Christian writings. But this is one of my favorite. These two. This website right here is called sacredtext.com, earlychristianwritings.com. These are two of my favorite, kind of go-to studies. All right. So now this is a book that I have that has, look at this, the Psalms of Solomon. Right here, the Psalms of Solomon. Hold on. Let's go a little further. The Odes of Solomon. I try to read one of these a day, just like you have. Now, unfortunately, all of the Psalms and all of the Odes are not there. So what I'll do is, like, today is the so-called 21st day of the month, right? This is what early Christian writings looks like. When it says Christian, remember, the original Christians were the Israelites, were the Hebrews. This is a very good website. This is called Sacred Text, okay? Sacred Text, the Odes of Solomon. Here are some of the most beautiful songs of peace and of joy that the world possesses. See that? So these are the Odes of Solomon. So you can find this from Sacred Text. All right, if anybody chooses to, let's go to Ode number 1. It should have but they don't. See, and there, you see, this is a very short ode. So first day of the week, Ode number 1, or Song of Solomon number 1. See, so these writings actually exist. See, so let's go back to Josephus. Josephus says what? He also composed books of odes and songs and a manner of 1,005, of parables of similitude of 3,000. For he spake a parable upon every sort of tree, from the hyssop to the cedar, and in like manner also about beasts, about all sorts of living creatures, whether upon earth or in the seas or in the air. For he was not unacquainted with any of their natures, nor omitted inquiries. So if you ask him, he will be able to tell you, nor omitted inquiries about them, but described them all like a philosopher, and demonstrated the exquisite knowledge of their several properties. Allahia also enabled him to learn that skill, look at this, which expelled demons. So this is the part that I wanted to bring everybody to, because it always interested me. You have to know this too. The Catholic Church has no information that they made up themselves. They just got our information and they perverted it. Like our big brother Judah said, I can't wait to raid the Catholic Church archives. And that's something that we're going to do. We're going to raid the whole world. We're going to get back all. Listen, we are going to be the last rulership of this world, the children of Israel. And every nation that loves Israel, every nation that loves Yerushalayim, our land, and there are some nations that are cleaving unto us even right now. All right. All of these things that they love Israel, they love our land, they love, they're cleaving unto us. They're going to be cheering us on. Either that or they're going to be a blood stain. So we are going to raid the Vatican. We are going to raid the White House. We are going to raid all, but we're going to do it under the power of Yahweh Bahasham HaMashiach Yahushua. We're not going to do it like the Gentiles. We're not going to do it with guns. We're not going to do it with their weapons of war. We're not going to do it under the Black Panther Party. We're going to do it under Christ when he returns. He's going to give us the power to do this. All right. And that's a part of his promise to us. Excuse me. Salak. That's a part of the Most High's promise to us. We get everlasting life. We're going to get all of our heritage back. All right. We're going to raid those who raided us. We're also going to ravage their wives, which is, that's not something I'm too, readily excited to talk about. But hey, the scripture says it's going to happen. All right. So, these are things that the Most High is going to do. So let's finish this. All right. Allah also enabled him to learn that skill which expelled demons, which is a science useful to and sanative to men, or to help sanitize, to clean a man. He composed such incantations also by which distempers are alleviated. So if you have a sickness of the body, he also wrote how to get these sicknesses out of the body. All right. Now, again, East Indians, Arabs, I've heard Arabs say it more specifically that King Solomon was a warlock. He was a witch. All right. Which he was not at first. But then King Solomon did fall into foolery. And I'm going to show y'all something on that, too. He left behind him a manner of using exorcisms by which they drive away demons so that they never return. And this manner of cure is of great force unto this day. For I have seen a certain man of my own country whose name was Eleazar, releasing people that were demoniacal in the presence of Vespasian and his sons and his captains and the whole multitude of his soldiers. The manner of the cure was this. He put a ring that had the root of one of those sorts mentioned by Solomon. So now you see that it's not mentioned here. So this is why reading other books that, again, be careful and be wary of any book that's Gnostic. Gnostic books are, sometimes people put the title Gnostic on something and it's not Gnostic. But some books that were written and their origins come from Simon Magus, the same Simon Magus from the New Testament. If you're not familiar with Simon Magus, let's get this real quick. All right. Simon Magus in the New Testament. Everybody look this individual up. This dude was a real witch. All right. Peter used to bang with this dude. This was Peter's adversary, and he used to do real witchcraft. Sumerian magician, Simon Magus. All right. But he was in the New Testament. All right. So look, Simon the sorcerer. See? So Simon Magus, he had knowledge of our writing. Simon Magus was right there with the apostles. All right, I'm going to look up some more information and talk about him later. Simon Magus wrote books that were called Gnostic writings. Okay, so when you're going through apocryphal books and you're doing your studies, I'll tell you, like my elder Parazai told me, if it's from the 1st century, he was like, maybe I'll go to the 1st century, middle. But Parazai is very stern. He's very starch. You ain't about to get him to budge on nothing. Like me, I'll go over there and look, and then I'll come back and be like, yo, it's okay. Or I'll be like, nah, we know it's a crime. We shouldn't do that. He'll be like, yo, I told you. But so like my elder told me, like he'll do 1st century writings, and he'll go maybe 2nd century, but when we start going to those other far off books, like the Book of Enoch, I don't teach anybody. I will never teach anybody. As of now, I will never teach anybody to do any of their doctrine out of the Book of Enoch, just because of it's so far out there. Even when we're going into the constellations, like I can see, like I'm like, yo, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, I can see, but I can't teach out of the Book of Enoch because I can't validate it. And that's the problem. I'm not just going to go off of somebody's word. Your word isn't good enough if I can't validate it. And if your word and your word and your word all lead me to a dead end, then I'm like, yo, I love you, I respect you, but you don't got enough information. You don't got your word is not good enough, because we're elders in this truth. I'm not, but the elders that are in this truth are supposed to be able to prove all things, validate all things. And if you can't validate it and you just hold up a book and say this history, that's not enough for me. I need to see, where did the history come from? Okay, cannot backtrack this. I can't. Okay, well, I mean, well, so that's what I'm here to say. I'm here to say, if you do dive into these books, if you find out that they're Gnostic or they go back into the book of Simon Magus and his writings, stay away from them. All right. Now, when we read this part right here, it says, he put a ring that had a root of one of those sorts mentioned by Solomon. Josephus doesn't say where this is coming from. So you'll have to go and research and study and be like, yo, where's this at? What is this? What is this? You know, where's this from? Where's this? You know, and if you can't find that it's validated with, you know, within either our writings or within a appropriate time frame, I wouldn't stick with it. Oh, I just remembered I got a meeting at 2 p.m. I got to get myself ready. Okay. So let's get back to this. All right. He put a ring that had a root of one of those sorts mentioned by Solomon to the nostrils of the demoniac, after which he drew out the demon through the nostrils. And when the man fell down immediately, he adjured him to return no more, making still mention of Solomon by reciting the incantations which he composed. Okay. And when Eleazar, now I would like to think that this is the same Eleazar from the book of Maccabees. I like to think that. I can't prove it, but that's my thoughts. All right. And when here go another reason, is because Josephus was here at the same time. And he said he's seen this same Eleazar during the time of Vespasian. But then it says, and his sons and his captains. Well, whose sons? Vespasian's sons or Eleazar's sons? So whenever you see Eleazar, usually the 7 sons come up in the same context. I can't prove it, but that's my thoughts. And when Eleazar would persuade and when Eleazar would persuade and demonstrate that the spectators, that he had such power, he set a little way off a cup or basin full of water, and commanded the demon as he went out of the man to overturn it, and thereby to let all spectators to know that he had left the man. So the person would be, we Israel would do exorcism against this evil spirit that was on the man. And then before he sent the evil spirit away, he would say, now turn over that chair. Now turn over that cup. He wouldn't say chair. I just looked at this chair that's in front of me. He would say, now turn over that cup with the water in it. And then the evil spirit would have to do that and then leave. And when this was done, the skill and wisdom of Solomon was showed very manifestly. For which reason it is that all men may know the vastness of Solomon's ability and how he was beloved of Allahiah, and that the extraordinary virtues of every kind with which this king was endowed may not be unknown to the people, to any people under the sun. For this reason I say that we have proceeded to speak so largely of these matters. Moreover, Hiram, king of Tyre, when he had heard Solomon succeeded his father's wisdom, was very glad of it. Now, I'm going to stop right there. So this line number 6, literally starts the beginning of 1 Kings chapter 5. 1 Kings chapter 5. Hold that thought real quick. So this is why it's important to read the writings of Josephus, because the way that he did it was brilliant. Josephus hid information in plain sight. It's like he wrote so much that the average Joe wouldn't want to read it. And he expounded in great detail. It was the Grecians, the Greeks, that took Josephus and held him hostage. The Romans, the British, the Catholic Church, the Americans, the whatever, not Americans, because the word American actually means original indigenous natives. All right. The dark-skinned natives of the land. All right. So the Europeans, the Caucasians, the Edomites mixed with Japhet, because it was Javan, Yawan, it was Yawan, Javan, Yawanium. The children of Japhet, Javan, are the Greeks, are the Ionians. They mingled with the seed of Esau today. And it was them that was in rulership that came and conquered and slayed us and took us into captivity. Our own brothers turned against us. All right. Esau mingled in with Japheth. Javan. All right. Japheth had a son named Javan, Genesis chapter 10. His name is Yawan. His children are Yawanya. All right. So the point of saying all that is to say this. It was them that took took Flavius Josephus. And when they took Flavius Josephus and commanded him to write our history, Josephus was like, all right, bet. And he literally went through from the beginning all the way, I think, he went past the time of Yahushua, because Josephus was an eyewitness of Yahushua. Josephus believed in Yahushua. Yahushua is in the book of Flavius Josephus. The point of saying all that is to say this. When Josephus and the way that he did his writings was so amazing that if you take time and study them, you will learn so much more. He was a Levite. He was an eyewitness account. All right. If you can't read the book of Flavius Josephus, you can listen to the book of Flavius Josephus. All right. So Josephus just gave us all of this extra information, and he hid it in plain sight in front of the same ones who sent him into slavery. So the way that it reads, it goes history, and then it goes information, and then it goes back to history. So none of this, what we just read, all right, verse 5 all the way down to paragraph 5, all the way down to paragraph 6. None of this is documented directly in the Torah. Well, some of it is. You can find some of this in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7. So it's like he abridges. He takes information here, there, boom. He puts it all together, and then he slaps it in the middle of something. So if you're not studying, you won't see it. You'll just miss it. You'll be like, yeah, I got Flavius Josephus too, but it's just sitting. It's just collecting dust. You ain't getting no jewels from it. So watch this. So we just read all that information, right? It talked about the sagacity, the wisdom of Solomon. It talked about how he was a philosopher, how he wrote books and he wrote psalms and he wrote odes, and how he knew the wisdom of animals, the wisdom of men, the wisdom of plants. He also knew the wisdom of evil spirits and how to get them out of men. All right. But then at the end of it, he says, I say this. He said, I say it is that we have proceeded to speak so largely to these matters. So he says, but anywho, all right, anyways, let me get back to the point. And Josephus does that sometimes. Sometimes you'll be reading and Josephus, he get ready to drop a jewel on you. And he'll be like, but I'll speak more on that later. Or Josephus will say, but let every man think of this how they will. Like Josephus tells us that leprosy is a disease of skin color. Yes, Caucasians, Europeans, Edomites, white people, Japhet, you do have melanin, but you got a low level of melanin. But Josephus, whenever he talks about melanin, he calls it a distemper. He calls it a misfortune in the color of your skin. It's not talking about boils. It's not talking about having big bumps all over your bodies. It's not talking about having hives. It's talking about you not having melanin. So Josephus is very pro Negro. He's very pro black. He's very pro his nationality. He says that Moses nor the people that Moses led had such misfortune in the color of their skin. So it's everywhere. So, but the way Josephus breaks it down is he slides it in there. So he literally slaps the same people that kidnapped him. He literally slaps them in the face with information. And again, his book is so thick that the majority of people don't listen to it. They don't read it. They're not concerned with it. They want somebody else to read it for them, you know, which I don't mind. I'll read it for you. But the point is, you know, you got to get this information for yourself so you can see. Now, watch this. After we read paragraph 5, it goes right back into the scriptures, which was the Torah portion. It's immaculately put together. So he gives you information and then he goes. And when you read the Torah portion, Josephus is right in line with it. So he says all that. And then he says this. Moreover, Hiram the king. Wait, we're talking about Hiram the king now? We're talking about the building of the temple, the building of the tabernacle. I thought we were talking about King Solomon and the wisdom and blah, 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 blah. You got to know how to decipher this thing. All right. Like I'm going to tell y'all, like my elder told me, you can fake a lot of things, but you can't fake wisdom. You can't fake the spirit of wisdom. All right. So Josephus does all this information. Then he goes and then he says, now, I don't know if y'all remember this because we just went through a lot of information. But when we first started this conversation, we started this conversation with talking about the building of King Solomon's temple. All right. All roads lead to truth, man. That's beautiful. Hallelujah. All roads lead to truth, life, or death. All right. Or dead, the end, death. Right. So I don't know if you all remember this, but when we first started this discourse, we started with talking about the Temple of Solomon and Hiram. So look, Flavius Josephus brings it right back. He says, moreover, Hiram, king of Tyre, when he heard that Solomon succeeded his father's kingdom, he was very glad of it, for he was a friend of David's. So he sent ambassadors to him and saluted him and congratulated him on the present happy state of his affairs, which Solomon sent him an epistle and the contents which are followed. So when you finish reading this, you go to 1 Kings chapter 5. 1 Kings chapter 5 says, and Hiram, the king of Tyre, sent his servants to Solomon, for he had heard that he had anointed him king in room of his father, for Hiram was a lover of David. So it literally shows you right from, 1 Kings to Flavius Josephus, book number 8, how these things line up and how they all mesh and go together. So that's it for me. All right. I think I said I want to keep this video under 2 hours. Plus I have a meeting at 2 p.m. that I need to get ready for on that. All right. So let me stop this right there. And let me give a salute to everybody. Yabarakam, Yahweh Ba'asham, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai, Wakal Ha, Mashpacha, and to all family, Wakal Ha Akwatian, Yahweh Shamar, Ilathan, to all the sisters, the Most High, watch over you. All right. Dawada for taking this time, for building with us, for spending Mashpacha Pa'ayin, for spending family time with us. All right. Again, if anybody would like to donate or like to bless the ministry, the smallest parts or the smallest amount of whatever you do would be a huge blessing. Dawada to the sister that posted the Paleo Hebrew, H. Judah. Thank you for being on here and dropping jewels, man. Our brother Torrance, brother Golden. All right. As y'all can see, my personal phone number is on the bottom, 614-999-2677. I should put +1 area code. All right. But it's WhatsApp or Cash App. If you want to reach me, you can reach my WhatsApp or Cash App. The Cash App is Mashpacha Pa'ayin, family time, or you can just put in my phone number. I think I'm going to change the name Mashpacha Pa'ayin because I've had people that wanted to send donations. And they was like, we're having a hard time finding you. So I need to change that. My hopes are always to teach people Hebrew or to teach our family Hebrew. So I'm like, okay, well, I can put Mashpacha Pa'ayin, family time, and how to make them and go look for it. And then they'll have to learn how to spend. But some people don't want to spend time looking up how to spell Hebrew, so or they'll do the request, So absolutely, I will send you a request for 50. Thank you, King. All right, all praise Yahweh, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. May the Most High bless you as you bless His ministry also. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to salute and end it off with Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20, which says, to the law and to the testimony. All right, Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak on this wise, it is because there is no light in them. If you get a chance, today is the 21st day. Read Proverbs, read Psalms, read Ecclesiasticus. But check this out. Go and read Ode of Solomon, chapter 21. Oh, you don't have it? I'll read it for you. All right. So this is Ode of Solomon. All right, for the 21st day of this Gentile month, because we remember we just read that King Solomon, he wrote these odes. So this is Ode of Solomon, chapter 21. Ode of Solomon, chapter 21, and it reads, I raise my arms high to the grace of Allahiah, for he has cast off my bonds. My helper have lifted me to his grace and salvation. I discarded darkness and clothed myself with light. My soul acquired a body free from sorrow, affliction, or pain. The thought of Allahiah restored me. I fed on his incorruptible fellowship, and I will raise in the light. And I was raised in the light and went to him, near him, praising and proclaiming him. He made my heart flood into my mouth, and made it shine on my lips, on my face. The exaltation of Allahiah increased, and his praise. All praise the Most High. So Ode chapter 21 is all about giving praise to the Most High redeeming us, lifting us up, and also the Most High rejuvenating us taking off the garments of darkness, putting on the garments of light, and then our gratitude coming from him with our hands raised, all right, and our praise coming out of our mouth, all right, which is really interesting because we were talking about the Masonic organization, and one of the things that they say is that you're raised from the dead man to the new, and you were raised up, and King Solomon just said it here, but he gives praise to the Most High, saying that it's the Most High that raises us. All right, so let me yield the floor on that. All right, I don't want to go any more past the time frame. I need help to come. I love you all at the water for building with us. Make sure y'all check out Zaquan Parazad's videos. Make sure y'all check him out on YouTube, on Facebook. All right, Parazad, P-R-A-Z-A. Very easy to find. Oliver Grove, OG. Okay. So international ministry, help bless Marsha Yasha Allah, this international ministry that we're doing, waking up the tribe of Zebulon, waking up the tribe of Issachar, all right, waking up these northern kingdomers. When I look out this window that's directly in front of me, I see a huge mountain with a whole bunch of houses and Zebulonites that live up on it. These people here, they know that they're Mayans. We don't have to come saying, hey, you guys are Mayans. They like, we know. So they know that they're the Mayans. They know that they speak Suksul, and they know that they speak Tux. I forgot the other language, but they speak two Mayan dialects here. All right, they speak their native Mayan dialect here, and they speak Spanish because they were conquered by the conquistadors. They were conquered by the Catholic Church. So we are in San Cristobal, Chiapas. All right. And I mean, it's just a beautiful ministry. I mean, I don't know what else to say. So we're really doing what we can, and we're building with them. I got a meeting with 2 of them today. Matter of fact, me and the Prince, I got to talk to him and see if he's going to be coming too. So we'll be getting with them today, and the Most High's we'll all be able to build together, keep the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, and love each other in Yahweh's Tawara. All right. So Anyab Lakam, Yahweh Ba'asham, Hamashiach Yahawashi, Brakatam, Kwam, Yasha Allah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Shalom.